Alright, hi guys. So I just want to reiterate some of the things we talked about on Wednesday in terms of adding text. So I'm going to open up Photoshop, and I'm using the same assets that we used in class. So I'm going to make the workspace look like it does on your computers. And I'm going to go to File and Open, and on my desktop I have that Vatican City image that we were working with. So I want the caption to be beneath this photo, just like we had it in class. So I want to go over here and unlock this layer, and then go up to Edit, or I'm sorry, go up to Image, and Canvas Size. And this allows you to change the size of the entire canvas, not just the image. If you were to go to Image and Image Size, you're just changing the picture, but we want to change the canvas size so that we can work underneath the picture. So I'm going to change this from inches to pixels, and I'm going to add about 200 more pixels on the height, because the width is fine, but the height is where we need to add some. And make that 659, and here we are. So I'm going to go over here to the Move tool and select that, and then with this layer selected, I'm just going to click and drag the picture all the way up to the top of the screen. And you see it kind of locks into position when you get near the corners there. That's just a natural thing that Photoshop does. And I want to fill in the background here. I want to make this white underneath the photo. So I'm going to go down here. I'm over here on the layer side and create a new layer by clicking on this piece of paper with the folded corner icon. And I want to make sure that this layer is beneath this photo layer. If it's above it and I use the fill tool, it's going to make the whole screen white. But I want to put it beneath the photo so that it's just the bottom portion that turns white. So once I do that, I'm going to go over here to my tools. And the paint bucket tool, which is what you'll need to use, is nested beneath the gradient tool. So the gradient tool is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 beneath the Move tool. So I'm going to click and hold and go right underneath the gradient tool, the paint bucket tool. And then down here in your color picker, whatever the front color is the one that is registered to the tool. So I want to switch that from black to white, so I can just either click on the white box and change the color, or just use these arrows here to switch back and forth between the colors. So I'm just going to switch here, and then I'm going to use the paint bucket tool to go down to this layer with this layer selected and just click. Turns it to the white color. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my desktop and open up the text description file, and I'm going to copy this text description here of the photo caption. And I'm going to go back to Photoshop, and on the left hand side here click the T icon, which stands for the text tool, and I'm just going to click and drag and set the parameters of where I want this text to go. So that looks about right, so I'm going to let go of it, and now I'm just going to copy and paste it in there. Now the reason I don't see the text right now is because I'm still over here using the white tool. I want to switch that back to the black tool. So I'm going to highlight this invisible text and then click this little arrow above the color pickers and change it to black. So now that I have the text on the screen, to modify text, I want to go up here to Window and Character. That's going to open the character window here, which allows you to change the text. So I'm just going to highlight this text, and over here I'm just going to go up, and we'll just make this 20, which is probably too big, but that's fine. And I'm going to go to the one beside it, the option beside it, and that's the leading option, which changes the space between lines, and I'm going to give it a little bit more space than it naturally would have. So let's make it 35 points. And like I showed in class, all of these kind of select or change different things, like the tracking, which is the space between characters, the actual width of the letters, the height of the letters. You can make them bold or give them all caps. So you could play around with those and see them. But for now, I'm fine with this. I'm going to switch back to the Move tool. And now using the arrow keys, I'm going to hold down Shift and press down. And I'm going to basically go 4 moves down, which when you're holding Shift, it goes every 5 pixels. So I'm going to go 20 pixels beneath my image. And now I'm going to go back to that text description, and I'm going to copy this guy's name, the photo credit, go back to Photoshop, click the text tool, and do the same thing. I'm just going to click and drag where I want it to go, which is up here underneath the photo, and then Command V to paste that in. And I want this to look different than the caption, so I'm going to, with it highlighted, change it from Myriad Pro to, let's just say, Times New Roman. And I'm going to make it a lot smaller as well. So 12 points. And I'm going to change the color, and you can do that over here as well. It doesn't always have to be from the color picker. But over here in the character window, I'm just going to click the color, and I'm just going to change it to a dark gray color. So let's say right there. And now I'm going to go back to my Move tool, and I'm going to nudge it over here in the corner of the picture. And I'm actually going to go back to the caption and move that a little closer. And you could, move it and rearrange it however you want, but that's basically the very basics of adding text. So in the other photo that we modified, we were using the big captions, and you can do all that. Whenever you want to add an effect to the text, all you have to do is double-click the layer, the text layer, and it brings up the Layer Styles window here. And you can add drop shadow, you can add stroke or a border around the text, pattern overlay, gradient overlay. There's a lot of different things. So I wouldn't recommend doing this for a caption. You can see down here with drop shadow, I don't know, it would be hard to read for more than a few words. So, but if you're using this on a headline or just a few big words, I think it's a really effective tool. So that's all for now, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in class.